signalled almost in the back of the hall. They saw it coming, but certainly Muchoki didn't. And it looks as though he's got the champion in the 8th round.
Oh, he's come back with a good right hand, Reg.
Yep. So what do you know about that? Oh, he nailed him there, and he made it. No, he's just got 10 seconds. Now the referee will continue counting.
Second out, round 4.
Round 4. And remember that it's scheduled for the 15 rounds distance. Commonwealth Championships, in fact, can still be staged over the 15-round limit if the country where it's taken place decrees that that's their ruling. But I think it's gradually coming back now to 12. But this might be academic, the way these two are punching, and particularly the strong stuff from Wallace. And there's one or two humorous scousers saying, come on, Keith, stop him dancing. But he's a smart boxer, Muchoki. His only defeat, of course, was to the world champion, Laciar of Argentine. Laciar was beaten in London by Charlie Magri, having put Magri down in the first round.
Stop boxing, stop boxing.
Low punch there. Mike Jacobs reminding Wallace that he can't do that, and Muchoki looking rather pleased that he did so. A speedy enough puncher, Muchoki, but the power comes from the challenger, there's no question. Certainly Muchoki needed a long rest after the battering he took from Laciar, but Wallace is not going to give him that. Well, catching each other punch for punch there, and the one that mattered came from Wallace. And the crowd really urging the popular boy from Liverpool, listening to London now on. Doubles that left hand up really well. And I think they're both rather pleased to hear that bell. What a good round that was. Second Paddy Byrne literally hauling Muchoki back to the corner. So fans, for a change, Joe Buckner and his wife are finding something to smile about.
Second out, round 5.
So round 5. Well, it didn't take long for these flyweights to get really warmed up now in the 5th round. And it's an impressive display indeed by the challenger, Keith Wallace. Muchoki's not going to give him the title by the look of it. But when they stand trading, the authority punching really is coming from a boy who's only had 8 fights. It's quite incredible. And so far only had to travel an 8-round distance. Oh, Muchoki came back well there. Which reminds Wallace that the step up in class, he can't take liberties. Got to take care of himself as well. That's a good round by Steve Muchoki. Surprising, he had a bad round then in the fourth. He's come back in the fifth. And he's stepping up the pace now, the Kenyan. And Wallace has really got to fight his way back. Well, it's the first impressive round by Muchoki. But not now, because that one punch turned it all around. And although Muchoki looked as though he was snarling back at Wallace, I don't think it mattered. He was hurt. Really is a classy little battle indeed for the Commonwealth Championship. That's the way to double that left hook up. It really is perfection with a fellow who hasn't had too much experience despite his amateur career. Best round so far, the fifth. He's really trying to pick his punches all the time there, Wallace, and make everyone count and hurt. But he's got to move that head around a bit.
I'm very, very impressed with Keith Wallace. I think he's such a little man, you know, he's so professional, it's unreal. This man, Muchoki, is so experienced, and he comes on, he puts the pressure on, and little Wallace is not disturbed at all, and that's real professionalism as far as I'm concerned, and I'm very, very impressed with him.
Seconds out, round 7.
So they're having trouble getting the stool out of the ring there, getting a little bit of extra time in round 7. Well, it was a slightly slow start, a bit hesitant by the champion. He's come back into it a bit now. And it really is punch for punch. And not only a question of skill, but I suspect stand power, but a low punch. That's the second one that Muchoki has landed. Early on, Wallace was warm for a low punch, so that makes a matching set. Count there, those punches. It's difficult now for the referee to make up his mind which are going to score the most. Certainly Wallace has always looked more impressive, but you have to give Muchoki his fair dues there. He's throwing his share of punches now. Wallace tending to hold that head just a bit too high, I suspect, and risking it a little bit. That probably comes with having now 8 good wins and not realizing that champions are a bit harder to take and that they can hit you back. Well, he won't get much more skill and solid hitting power than this in an 8-stone fight. He's complaining there, Muchoki, to the referee that there was a stray punch came in from Wallace, but I don't think they had too much to complain about. The wearing of foul-proof protectors is obligatory in the pro game. The crowd in the back of the hall recognise that when Muchoki's head is sent back. Second there, Paddy Byrne keeping the swab sticks in his mouth, but I really can't see too many abrasions around Muchoki's face.
Seconds out, round 8.
Round 8, and for Keith Wallace, he already travelled to the 8th round once in his career. That was in his last fight with the American Steve Weston. And it could well be now that he might have to fight on the full 15 rounds. Because certainly the Kenyan, by way of Copenhagen, is not going to give up this championship easily. Wallace is fighting for the Commonwealth crown because Kelvin Smart of Wales, the British champion, is injured, and he's already been matched with Smart. And that uppercut there signalled almost from the back of the hall. They saw it coming, but certainly Muchoki didn't. And it looks as though he's got the champion in the 8th round. His legs really betrayed him there, Muchoki. It started with an uppercut that the crowd saw. Muchoki wondered what hit him there, and Wallace, can he get in there and finish the champion? And what a great win this would be for him, because Muchoki has fought well. Trying to take his time, Wallace. He doesn't want to throw this away. Muchoki trying to fight back. Now the class of a champion for Wallace must be, can he pick the punches where he can inflict the damage quickly and stop the champion? Remember, only his 8th fight. It is a tremendous performance with a minute to go. Muchoki had to stand 15 rounds battering from the world champion Lasciar of Argentine. This really is a good performance. If Wallace can do it now, there's chance of easy, but I don't think it's quite as easy as that. Muchoki's now calling on every guile that he can of the wealth of amateur experience that he had, and he really was a great amateur champion. Half a minute in the 8th round then, and again the uppercut does it. Right through the guard. Muchoki pinned in his corner, the gun shield's out. It looks as though he could be saved by the bell here. If he went down, the count would continue, except in the last round. And certainly Muchoki was very pleased to hear that bell. It must have sounded like a full orchestra. So there we are now, Wallace at the best of the action, and what a spectacular uppercut that was, followed by the left hand. He almost ran after Muchoki, who had no control of his feet at that point, and Wallace going in to try and finish the champion off. And it was a very impressive round indeed that puts him now well in front. And the referee just quickly visited Muchoki's corner there, Mike Jacobs, checking with the seconds that they consider their man okay.
Seconds out.
Slight cut around his left eye,
Round 9.
but he's coming out for the 9th round. First time then that Wallace has had to travel farther than the 8th round. And it really looks as though he had the fight in the bag in the 8th. But credit Muchoki for coming back. He's done it again, and I don't think Muchoki will want to know too much about this now. That's the 3rd uppercut that he's taken. He's trying now to smother Wallace as he comes in, but he's bound to get caught again. He's square on. There it is, and again, and it's stopped, and it's all over. At the start of the 9th round, absolute bedlam in this ring as they're pulling people out. And young Keith Wallace, 21, from Liverpool, is the new Commonwealth champion.
Round 2.
Second round. And a bit of quality, fast. Welterweight boxing there. Remember, in the latest ratings now by the World Boxing Council and Associations, which we've only seen this week, Hannigan's come in at 4 and Mitty at 7. And there aren't many championships you'll see with British, Commonwealth, European at stake, with 2 genuine contenders for the championship. Remember, it's the Americans who rate them. Well, Americans and South Americans, basically. So these 2 fellows are really looking now for a shot at the welterweight championship of the world, because it's the fight traders all say that Donald Curry and Milton McCory, when they settle their argument, will give up the championship, and these fellows are in a shake-up. There's a question of out-thinking as well as out-punching each other, or I feel they might have the needle with each other, but there's no lack of respect for boxing ability, I'm sure of that. Well, they haven't spared themselves in training for this one. You can tell by the sharpness, and I love the trim haircuts as well, although you don't have to go in training to get your hair cut. What do you think?
Yeah, well, the punches already are very good. I get the impression Hannigan's punches are a little bit sharper, a little bit more powerful at this stage. Yeah, he's just missed Mitty's whisker a couple of times with nice-looking uppercuts. There he is. More of a stumble than a knockdown, but...
oh, he went like that, Mitty did, interrupted you. He's going to give him the standing mandatory 8 count, which is the European rules, by the way.
Well,
it's not a standing count as such, but I didn't agree with that, did you?
Well, a punch did knock him. I mean, he stumbled, but a punch knocked him over, so I suppose the referee's entitled to give him a count. But no way was he hurt. But Hannigan's looking for him early.
Under European rules, they can actually give a standing count without going down, but no British referee has yet done that in the European Championship. And I'm assured that Mr. John Cole will not probably use that rule. But he has to take a mandatory 8, and they don't do that in British Championship fights. Well, we've always known that Lloyd Hannigan's got a good punch variety. He brings them in from all angles. He's having a good round there in round 2. I don't think he's just having a walk round there, Hannigan, more or less unwinding. I think he was not really going to the wrong corner. He knew exactly what he was doing. So, there you are, just peering over the lady with the rounds board, and in replay, Jim.
Yeah, well, Hannigan's given the impression that he's a little bit stronger than Mitty at the moment. It's like a full welter against a light welter.
I doubt whether he really took the punch there. He half fell across him, didn't he? But there you are, it counts as a knockdown. Almost a familiar face on television these days, Ernie Fossey, the matchmaker and trainer, counselling Mitty. As I say, they were both formerly with the Terry Lawless camp. To round 3. And the European challenger, Mitty, in gold, and the British and Commonwealth challenger, Hannigan in black sequin. There's certainly a good second round there for Hannigan.
Yeah, his work looked a bit sharper and a bit stronger, which I think might be quite significant. Hannigan has been a welterweight all his pro career. Mitty has been a lightweight, light welterweight, and now a welterweight. I don't know if that's going to make a big difference. But Hunnigan certainly looked that little bit stronger in the second round.
Well, Sylvester's always say he can react to any given situation, and he's going to need to. Because it's Hunnigan well on top. And Mitty, I don't think has ever been floored as a professional. And I think I've seen nearly all his fights. And they're really screaming there in Hunnigan's corner. Mickey Duff, I can see, saying to Hunnigan, box, stick the left hand out, set the man up. Well, let's see now whether the old boxing head of Mickey can weather this, Mitty, I should say, could weather this storm. To use one of his typical phrases, he said, I might just old man him out of it. Oh, good exchange of blows there. Mitty coming back well. A minute to go. Short of action here, and what a comeback this is by Mitty. Well under fire at the start. Sheer grit there, isn't it? Determination. What a good championship fight it's turned out to be. A rare triple championship. Just a little bit inaccurate there, Mickey, there. They've got to throw a few punches to the body, I think. They're missing to the head. Well, he weathered that storm very well there, Sylvester Mitty.
Seconds out, round 5.
Into the fifth then, remember, scheduled for 12 for this triple championship. Hunnigan 10-5 and 3/4 and Mitty 10-6 1/2. And as I say, well in the shake-up for world title fights in the future. Depending, of course, how Colin Jones decides what he's going to do with his career after a rather sad back injury that he's been suffering from. But Jones actually has been dropped down to number 10 now because of inactivity since he fought Don Curry. Definitely got mouth trouble there. I don't know whether it's a tooth loose. I'm guessing a bit with Mitty, but he's certainly bleeding quite heavily from the mouth, Jim.
Yeah, it stopped a little bit now, but it was bleeding pretty badly in the previous round.
Tell you what, Jim, I'll have a little bet with you. It won't stop him from talking.
No, I think you're right there. See, Hunnigan's managing to get more power into the short punches than Mitty, so this type of fight is probably suiting Hunnigan more.
He's turning to southpaw, Hunnigan, too. I haven't seen him do that much before, have you?
I think you'll see him do some strange things before the night's out. He just does whatever he feels is right at the time.
Well, the longer this goes, it's going to be some slog. I can't believe that referee was suggesting that was a slap from Hunnigan, Jim, did he?
Yeah, it was a bit, just the way it was delivered. I mean, he didn't have to warn them because it's not a thing he does regularly. It's just the way that the punch landed. But I don't know why he's back to orthodox again, but he switched to southpaw. I don't know why he's doing that. Mitty's cut, Reg. Mitty's cut over the right eye.
Looks as though he's cut over the eye. He's really in the wars there, isn't he? Teeth are now cut over the right eye. There's some kind of clash in there. You see him blinking and pulling away, Mitty. Well, he's got some good skilled seconds in the corner, getting the coagulates out, and they're going to need to be working hard on this because it's in round 5. You know, it's a long way in a championship fight to keep that staunched. Ernie Fossey already there with the swab stick and the 1 in 1,000 adrenaline that's allowed by the boxing board of control. There's a lot of pressure on there. He certainly has got a problem there, and as we can see with that cut eye. Now that doesn't necessarily write the fighter off. Obviously it never helps Jim, but we've seen many come from behind to win.
I think Mitty has enough in his mind at the minute without to worry about a cut eye.
6.
He always seems to be forcing himself on. His work isn't flowing out the way Hunnigan's is. And Sylvester seems to be forcing all the time, pushing himself onto Hunnigan.
Well, in boxing parlance, Jim, I mean, Hunnigan more than ever fancies the job, doesn't he, now?
Mitty's eyes leaking again already.
Not it's in a difficult position. Yes, he's got to give him another standing 8 count, and this time Mitty doesn't appear to be protesting in round 6. And that definitely is the first time I've seen him on the floor as a pro, if we ignore the first one. And I tell you, the referee's having a long and hard look there at Mitty, hardly taking his eyes off him, as he knows which is the man in trouble. Obviously, got to give them every chance in a championship fight. Well, we could do without it being untidy because it's a good enough fight without that, and certainly punishing enough, in this case mostly for Mitty in this round. Just always have that on your mind in the ring, Jim, when you know you've got the eye cut like that, just wondering how bad it is because you're the only one really who can't see it properly, or at all, in fact.
Well, it's certainly a problem, but I don't really think it's had any bearing here. I think Hunnigan's on top at the moment simply because he's performing better than Mitty. And I think at the end of this round, I'll have Hunnigan 3 rounds in front, which is pretty comfortable at this stage.
Oh, yes, no question about that, is there? And I'm sure that's, unless as Cole Gibson-Jacobs would have it. But the way it's going, I don't think we're going to need any mathematics, are we? Well, good credit there as the clock countdown there for the round with Mitty trying to come back, and I don't think there's too much danger of Hunnigan punching himself out. He tends to have a few rests, but now here he's coming back right at the end as well. The seconds almost have to catapult into the ring now to do this patching up process, and you know, many a fight has been won and lost by good or bad cornermen. A little bit of prejudice on my part there, coming from a family who were both amateur and professional seconds. Jim, this is where the stumbling's going in a replay there.
See, a punch landed, but
yes.
I mean, it caught behind the ear. You couldn't really call it a knockdown.
Round 8.
So the 8th round. Just a little bit too much Vaseline there, says referee Coyle, and just stabs it off. Not allowed to what they call extra protection above the waist other than wearing a gum shield. Well, as Terry Lawless and Jim Watt have both said, Mitty behind now. Has he got time to make it up, or has he been in the wars a bit too much? But he's proved in the past he's not a bad stayer, but then again, you can't knock an unbeaten record, and that's what Hannigan has. He's in a couple of fights in the States, admittedly not in world company, but just to win there is good. Jim, wasn't it, by Hannigan?
Yeah, a little bit of showmanship there. Lloyd's kind of famous for that, yeah. I think the difference now is that Lloyd's enjoying the work. Sylvester knows it's an uphill struggle all the way, and I don't really think he can expect it to get much better. The only hope for victory now, I suppose, is if Hannigan starts running out of steam.
What's the problem here? The doctor now is being called. They do this in the European rules, and Dr. Adrian Whiteson, the specialist, actually, the boxing doctor, as we call him, is having a good look. And it's all over in the 8th round. So we've got the fiery Simpson now coming out. He really appears to have a new lease of life. We'll soon find out. He's had a good win in this ring against Juan Elizondo of Mexico. That was in February, and he'd been out since November of '84. Can't tell you much about Sander, except that he's never been stopped. And the chance of Sibbo, he really has got a great fan club from the Midlands. Boxed in America a lot, Sander, knows the business. Boxed in the Floyd Patterson camp in New York State. Not the sort of opponent Simpson fancies. He likes them a little bit stocky that walk in a bit more. He's going to be hard to find with Sander. Great reach. I think he'll work on the old premise that work, punch to the body and hope the head will fall. Is a sort of new look about Simpson, Jim. I know that's a bit of a hackneyed phrase in boxing, but I mean it.
Yeah, well, he seems to have the old fire back that was missing for about a year or a year and a half in his work. But Sander doesn't look too bad. When he leads with the left hand, and if it doesn't land, he gets his chin tucked away inside his defence quite well. He's thinking about defence all the time, even when he's throwing punches. I don't think Simpson's going to find it easy to get the quick punches home. See, there he goes, tucks his chin inside his glove there. Not a bad defence.
Do with a step ladder to reach this fella. Garner riding high a little bit these days in the boxing sense. The world champion in Azuma Nelson. They are then inside the last half minute of the opening match. Simpson getting his punches off quite fast. He wants to try and stamp a bit of authority, doesn't he, there, right? To let Mr. Sander know what it's about, tickle his ribs a bit. You can see there, he doubled him up beautifully there. Oh, this really is the old Simpson, this, I tell you. He's only 27, but it seems as though he's been around forever. He didn't do much in the amateur ring. Good round for Simpson to finish. Coming out for the 5th. And it looked as though the cornermen for Sander were saying, try the right uppercut. So the chance of Sibbo then from the very faithful fans from the Midlands. He might have been out of action for a while, so somebody certainly got his fan club together. Oh, Warwick. Everybody saw that one except Sander. Right at the back of the hall. Now, can he be the first to put this man down for a count?
Those punches were bang on, yet Sander didn't seem to flinch much. Certainly has a good chin.
Yeah, he's got a strong heart too. You remember in the European Championship when Simpson recovered it against Louis Acades, you know, he boxed a bit nonchalant, Jim. This is a different Simpson.
Simpson didn't have the old fire then. I actually thought Tony was thinking about retirement there. He didn't have any drive or ambition, but this is different now. But I think the punches that he's catching Sander with in this round are the same punches he knocked out his last opponent with. But Sander standing there just looking back at him. I'm surprised how tough Sander is when you see the way he's built, so tall and thin. But these are good punches coming from Simpson.
Sharp, Simpson, considering the awkwardness. We keep emphasising that to one man of this opponent. Certainly not to Simpson's liking. He wouldn't go out and choose one like this, but he had to go in with an approved contender or risk having the Commonwealth title taken away. And he's had enough of that at his time. He's lost the British and European outside the ring. The punches, of course, coming in from Simpson. He's ahead.
Yeah, I think if Sander wants to win the fight, he's going to have to open up a little bit, take a few challenges, try and take the fight to Simpson, which, if that happens, will certainly suit Simpson.
Well, the wash and brush up treatment there, he's a bit used to that, isn't he? But, we've obviously sorted out that Mr. Sanders a much tougher opponent than Juan Elizondo, who we knocked out in this ring in 2 rounds. So let's have a look at this again now. Here comes the right hander, I think. Yeah, there it is. As Jim Watt was saying, one of the best punches of the contest. So here's another look at the right hand coming in. He's just bobbing, weaving, looking for the opening, and there it comes now. Left hook, right hand.
Second out, round 10.
By the 10th then, certainly Simpson streaked ahead, but still got it to do, as they say. This fellow's been a real nuisance to Simpson, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been a very good opponent. He knows his way right from the first round. We realised he knew his way around the ring. A good survival, a good defence, and he sneaked out a couple of nice, tasty-looking punches early on. Tony's kept him under pressure throughout the fight, which has kept him ahead in points, certainly in my card. And it's never been an easy night. But it's been a good performance from Simpson. His punches have landed bang on, but that's testament to how good a chin Sander has.
Referee Dakin really has had an easy night's work. He hasn't had any problems, has hardly had to call break. The headache comes with the totting up the points at the end, although I wouldn't have thought he'd had too much trouble at this stage. I dare say there might be people saying, I wonder if Simpson's lost his punch to him, but I don't really understand how hard this man is.
Now, these punches from Simpson are very good. His timing's good. His attitude's good. This is a good performance. It certainly looks as though the fight's going to go the distance, because Simpson's hit Sander with his best shot. It's never even been able to shake him, trouble him in the slightest. But nevertheless, it's a good performance from Simpson. He's been sharp all the way through, and he hasn't let up in the pace. He's got himself in good condition. I think he really has his old attitude back.
Damage to the left elbow, then the floating chipped bones. Must have really demoralised Simpson, because he certainly looks a new man now, having had a successful operation.
Well, when you see the amount of work Tony does with his left hand, Simpson without a 100% left hand is no good at all. Because about 80% of his work is with his left hand.
Second down for the 12th and last down.
So the final round of this Commonwealth Middleweight Championship. Oh, now let's see how much Simpson's got left in the final round. I've certainly been impressed with his fitness, his sharpness.
I'm impressed with everything about Simpson tonight. An awkward opponent. Maybe I should stop calling him awkward. I think we'll start calling him a talented opponent, because he knows his way around the ring. Tony's got his punches home well. His timing's been good, his condition's been good, and his attitude's been good. It really looks as though he's back meaning business.
Obviously, it would have suited Simpson if he could have stopped Sander, but in some respects, going 12 at this stage now will do him a lot of good, really, Jim.
Yeah, well, when you consider the fact he's not had to take too many punches, the Sander's been working all the time, cutting him a bit around the head, but he's never been under any pressure himself. He's never taken very many big punches, and he's done a lot of good work, and he's getting his tools sharp, and this is a good bit of work for Tony.
He's still got enough speed in the last, Simpson. But full credit to the African champion. I mean, he really has stood up well. Just lacked that bit of aggression that a challenger must have if he wants to take the title home. Stilt legs of Sander have kept him going for the last 60 seconds anyway. Well, he's piling in now, isn't he, with 45 seconds. It'll be some result if he can stop him now, but I think we may be asking a bit too much, but who knows? Half a minute. All right on the chin too, right on the point. Is he going to stop Sander now? No, it's going to be too late because the bell would interrupt the count in the last round if he did go down, unless the referee wants to stop it standing up, but he won't do that. What a final flurry there as the bell goes, and he's had to break them up. And he's following Simpson over, surely. Just waiting for Simpson to take a bow, he knows. So the formal hoisting the arm of victory for Tony Simpson. The crowd are absolutely rising to him here. A very sound performance by Simpson anyway.
Seconds out. Round 4.
So welcome back then for round 4. And I tell you, it's going to be hard to sort this one out there. Sid Nathan, the referee, an old East Ender, actually emigrated to Hertfordshire now. And he's had 9 world championships he's worked on, 25 Europeans. 1 or 2 controversial decisions in his time, but he's the sole arbiter, as they say, for this one, no judges. And he usually controls the fight well, Sid Nathan, anyway. Slim man, but not afraid to dive in when he has to. They're headhunting a bit, Jim, but it's effective, isn't it? Long punches.
Yeah, well, they're both landing there. Notice his punches. Oh, he's got serious trouble.
Yeah, it looks as though Curry's in bother now. He mustn't punch himself out here, notice. This is where he's got to plant the punches a bit accurately. But Curry floundering. He did this with Kilimanjaro. He's out on the press table. He's falling out there. No use in waving. It's all over. The referee will give him time to get back in the ring. He's saying don't throw the man there, although the punches led up to it. But the referee gave, quite rightly, Curry time to get back in. He'll do well to hang on now, Curry, in the 4th.
Curry doesn't want to fight back here. He wants to get a hold of Notice and just think about defence. Just get a hold of him and don't let him work, because he's badly hurt. He's in serious trouble here.
But he's throwing a bit, Notice. The referee definitely there has had to tell Notice, don't throw the man. Now, what's going to happen now if Curry does manage to get over here with a minute to go in the round? Is he going to be a bit tired now, Notice? He's certainly thrown some ammunition there and came so close to winning. Well, you can't question Hugh Roy's courage, I'll tell you that. He did well. Look at this, Jim. He's making a bit of a climb back now, isn't he, Curry?
Yeah, well, Curry should just be thinking of defence. He's lost the round. Don't take any chances. Get through this round. Give him a chance to recover himself. Take no chances.
The referee having the time. He didn't want to work in there and wrestle them, but he may have to. So then it's about 15 seconds to the end of this round, and he'll need a good sit down here, Curry, but he's fought back well. He may well be past the danger point now. Yes, there it is. Well, I tell you, he's done well to get back in that corner there. I hand it to Curry because Notice really did well. He unloaded those punches and out into the ring went this fellow. Curry there.
Seconds out. Round 5.
So into round 5 then. Now, can Curry come back? Can Notice do it again? Gets up on his toes well, Curry. It's amazing. He's been in trouble like that. He's quite mobile, really, for a big lad, 15, 12 and a half. He's had to slow down a bit now, notice, Jim. Obviously, Terry Lawless and Co and Jimmy Tibbs have
Used up. Must have given him a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it looks as though he's trying to pot shot a little bit now, notice. As Jim Watt quite rightly said there, I was really judging that on the fact that he's comparatively inexperienced, unlike, say, Terry Lloyd's having to talk to Maurice Hope or a Jim Watt, who had been around so much longer when they were in this level.
Second out, round 6.
Well, sixth round then. At one point, it didn't seem as though it was going to go that long. And Roy Curry surviving being shoved or knocked or fallen out of the ring, whichever way we want to interpret that. And it's been a very lively championship fight, and some hard punches going in. As you can see there, it looks as though he stumbled on that one. Jimmy would have wondered what had happened, notice.
7, 8.
He's leaving it a bit late now. He's got to get up. He did it well, though. He knew what he was doing. Cut it a bit fine.
Oh, he's come back with a good right hand, Reg.
Yep. So what do you know about that?
3, 4,
so the other one now, this is a tit-for-tat job, this.
7, 8.
Very clear into the eyes then of the champion. And he's got plenty of time in the round now. Notice if he can pick the punches. He's got Curry floundering all the time. With 2 minutes to go in the sixth. And now he wasn't looking for a gate in the ropes there to get out of it. He just fell across the ring. He'll do well to survive this one, Curry. He's doing the right thing in a boxing sense to hang on. There's no point in trying to stand and trade until he can pull his senses together. He's a brave enough guy, but it's notice of packing in the punches. And the referee standing right on top of them. He won't waste a second if he thinks that Curry can't continue. He's had another good look at him. Look at that. Looks seconds away from me. And he's in now, Nathan. I thought he would be. Just trying to give Curry that little bit of scope there. Well, what a scene there at the end of the ring as Terry Lawless and Jimmy Tibbs dive into the ring there, and Frank Black, the winning stable, have come up with another heavyweight champion. Round 2 then of a scheduled 12 for the Commonwealth Lightweight Championship, and a good start by the challenger Mo Hussein from East London. Well, the last few contests that Jim Watt and I have seen with Langton Tanago, he's just been able to loaf around for a round or two, but Hussein's not allowing him to do that, Jim.
Well, that's exactly what Hussein must not do, allow Tanago to dictate the pace. Hussein has to keep close. He had no trouble getting into punching range in the first round. He has to keep doing that. No use throwing punches and ones. He has to put 2, 3 and 4 punches out. They had a good first round, but you can see Tanago's beginning to back off a little bit, get a little space between the two of them where he can do some of his experienced work.
Oh, he's just got to watch that snappy right hand, Jim. He's a bit useful with that, Tanago. It's harder than it appears.
Yeah, but the main thing is Hussein's keeping him under pressure. He's forcing him to work, and Tanago doesn't like to do that. He likes to work at his own pace, but Hussein's on him all the time, forcing him to work, and I think we can expect Hussein to last the pace better, as long as Hussein doesn't make any silly mistakes.
I watched Hussein training a bit at St Pancras in London, and I must say he's been impressive. He's really got himself together for this fight, as you can see there. minute to go in the second. And referee Larry O'Connell from London is able to skirt the perimeter of the ring. Oops. Just got a little bit unseated a bit there. Good start by Hussein, Jim.
Yep. He's giving them all sorts of trouble. He's never given them 1 second to settle in these 2 rounds. It's an excellent start from Hussein. This is what he has to do. Keep him under pressure, keep punching all the time. No way can Tanago match him for pace or speed.
Well, he's got himself sharpened up all right, Hussein's boxing with people like Sylvester Mitty and Terry Marsh. Really good sparring, that makes a great deal of difference. Tanago trains in Yorkshire quite a bit. Round 3. And a good start then for Mo Hussein. On top certainly in the first 2 rounds. See if he can finish it inside. All the better for him, but the way it's going, he could win if it went 12. They can't afford to be careless, Jim, and walk onto one. We've seen Langton peel that right hand off before and stun people.
Well, Tanago must realise he's going to have to do something to discourage Hussein. He's had most of it his own way. And Tanago knows, very experienced, he can't match Hussein in this type of fight. So he's going to have to discourage him, land a couple of big punches, and that seems to be what's on his mind. He's trying the right hand.
I doubt very much whether they would discourage this fellow Hussein. He really has got a lot of fire in his belly. And as you can see, they're wearing the West Ham colours. And brought quite a sizable fan club from East London to this part of Essex to support Hussein there. Switched well there from body to head. Almost fell over his legs there as the stance changed on Tanago. Oh, just missed with that right hand in. Almost the wind of the punch had Tanago over. He's trying to throw that right hand back, as I said, the champion there, but it's only one against about a dozen punches coming at him. It's good stuff now from Hussein, Jim. He's got a good chance of winning this inside the distance.
Yeah, this is excellent because he's really having it his own way. Tanago doesn't seem to have the power to hold him off. He doesn't have the power to hurt him.
Well, I mean, he's knocking on 40, really, when you think about it. It's a bit old to stop these young guys coming at you. 23, Hussein.
He's actually looking his age now because there's nothing he can do with Hussein. This is no good for him whatsoever, and these rounds are taking a lot more out of Tanago than they're taking out of Hussein. I see a little bit of blood in Hussein's eye. I don't think it's anything serious.
Yes.
He seems to be nicked underneath the right eye.
Yeah, he is, just below the right eye there. They must have run onto a head there. Well, a runaway round here with Hussein. Well, it's just as well there for Tanago. Maybe he's landed back in his own corner because he certainly took a bit of a pasting in that round. Round 6. And it's scheduled for 12 rounds, the Commonwealth Championship at lightweight. That's 9 stone, 9 pound division. And a really flying start by Hussein then. But surprisingly, although champion Tanago has been cut around both eyes, he came back quite well in the 5th. I've seen him before, the schoolboy Tanago, as he's called, and he does hang around at the start, but once he's learned a lesson or two, he's a bit dangerous, much more dangerous than he appears by build. Well, in this game, when you're in your late 30s, as he is, then you pick up a trick or two.
See, Hussein's taken that little bit longer to get his punches off, and Tanago's capitalising on that. He's getting his punches off first now. Hussein must keep moving and get the punches off a little bit quicker. He's certainly dropped the pace a bit.
Yeah, well, oh, there he goes again. I said from the start that the right hand's one to watch with Tanago, but it looked as though Hussein had overwhelmed him at one point. But he's had 6 12-round contests, Tanago, so he doesn't worry too much about the distance, or in his case, the contusions and cuts around the eye. Well, that suits Hussein if Tanago's going to stand there and trade punches with him. He hasn't got to go looking for him at all. I wish he wouldn't hang his chin out like that, Jim. It's getting a bit dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah, Hussein's making far too many mistakes now. He's far too loose. He's not quite as tight as he was earlier on in the contest.
Kind of sense that the champion's saying, I think I've got to try and get this over because I may not be able to outstay this little terrier coming at him all the time.
Good punching from Hussein now. That was a good left hook from Hussein.
Yeah, and the roar of the crowd too. That's a great help. They say you may not hear anything, but I can't believe he can't hear this. And he's really got this tall fella wobbling a bit now. What a game guy he is, the champion. Well, I think he's a bit pleased to hear that bell. It doesn't matter how far he's got to walk back to the corner. And he really is looking his age a little bit there, Jim. I swear he's going grey between rounds, isn't he?
Well, that round took an awful lot out of Tanago. He did some of his own best work early, but you can see as time went on in the round now, he couldn't keep Hussein away. Hussein completely took over in the last half minute or so. That was a good left hook that started the serious trouble. From that point on, Tanago had nothing really to keep Hussein away. A lot of good work came from Hussein after that punch.
So round 9. Hussein's corner in there, Jimmy Tibbs shouting at him, you're losing your concentration now. Get back in there and carry on as you really began this fight. He just lapsed a bit in the middle rounds there.
Hussein doesn't need to worry about powerful punches, just keep the punches coming.
Certainly little Hussein there has found that life can be very tough at the top. Been on a good winning run and overwhelmed a Mexican and an American opponent in recent fights.
Well, Tanago just landed his best punch there, I think, and it doesn't seem to have troubled Hussein too much. That was a perfect right hand he caught Hussein with there.
Trying a little bit of kidology, Jim, isn't he now? Langton to give himself a bit of room, bit of feinting.
Yep, but he's keeping Hussein out of range, popping away with his own long punches. See, Hussein's trouble, he only really has one approach. He doesn't have any other ideas. If what he's doing now doesn't work, he can't do anything else. All he can do is move forward and keep throwing punches. And at the moment, it's not working too well for him.
There's certainly no way he should try to do any smart boxing against this fella. He's just too awkward. It's a minute to go in the 9th. And some sharp, long punches coming in there from Tanago as well. Imagine in your first championship crack, Jim, that when you've had such a good start like that, well, you might lose a bit of heart when you realise how tough it's become by this round.
A good punch from Hussein,
yes.
Good left hook. Tanago was, another good right hand, yeah. This was Tanago's best round until we come towards the end of it.
He still absorbs the punch well, though. Well, you certainly can't tell any change of expression on this fellow's face. And he was in trouble as we look at this replay now, Jim.
Yeah, a couple of good punches towards the end of the round. There was the left hook, bang on. Tanago in all sorts of trouble, but the old head, the experience, ties Hussein up.
There it is from a different angle there as we got a really good close-up there. Those double left hooks coming in. That was a real good burst of punches there by Hussein now, and he's definitely ahead on my card. So the 12th and final round there in the formal handshake. And a big cheer from the crowd there. A huge Hussein fan club, but I must say being very sporting with the champion show here. No knockdowns, but a fight full of action. Hussein just sort of banged his way through his own bruises, got on with his night's work there. So it could be, I would think now, almost certainly first time a British fighter has beaten Langton Tanago. This is where the old pros hand it to a game loser here, Jim. It's a real way for a champion to go down. He's tried his heart out all the time, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he always does. He's never given a bad show. Always gets himself in shape and gives it his best. But, tonight, he's seen just a little bit too young, a little bit too strong and too much fire.
Good show of fighting strength by Hussein too. Oh, it's good stuff now. He stopped him in the last round. It looked to me as though he'd stopped him there, Jim, but he decided to count over Langton Tanago, and he stopped him on the way up. What a performance in the last round by Mo Hussein. Not that I thought he was going to be in trouble on the scorecard, but a really champion finish by this lad, the new champion from the heart of London's East End. And the hugs coming there from manager Jimmy Timms. So the close-up view of the finish now. And he just shoves him off to give himself a bit of punching room there. The left hook just whisked past the chin, and you can see that Tanago's struggling to hang on, and there's the finish coming now. Punches on the turn, absolutely helpless. Referee O'Connell about to fly in, but goes through the formality of the count.
Go,
This
baby.
is a tough guy from Ghana, defending the Commonwealth middleweight championship, checked for 12. Remember, Ben has only been to the 7th round in one fight. So great cheers for naming him the Dark Destroyer from London. And he really has been bowling over the opponent. But Sander, we've seen here at Alexandra Palace before, went the full distance with Tony Simpson and put up a very good show. On that form, it looks a good fight. Both weighed 11-4. Certainly got a lot of height to throw out there, Ben. 6'1", Sander. And you think heavyweight champions have been smaller than that, including Mr. Tyson.
Good, come on, look.
Never been on the deck either, the gunner, and that's a good credential, but it could all change, I tell you. And the chance already for, here we go, for Nigel Benn. That was a great tinge of anticipation that he's going to throw the big haymaker. Nobody wants to blink in case they miss it. Well, he's taken a couple of whacks, Jim Sander, now, so it looks as though he's going to give him a test at least, doesn't it, at this stage?
Yeah, well, I've never seen anything about Ben that I don't like, but like everybody else, I've been looking forward to seeing against a little bit of class, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Already he's got through to Sander, but Sander has a good chin. Ben has been maybe a little bit wild in the first round, maybe being his first title fight, he wants to really get down to action, but he'll have to tighten up a little bit. But maybe just wants to show Sander how much power he has, and he's doing that right now.
Yeah, right above the commentary position there. He really gets off the mark, this fella. He doesn't hang about, Ben. There's the countdown clock then for the opening round. Well, I said he's had 9 first-round wins. His total career has only gone to 31 rounds. And he nailed him there, and he made it. No, he's just got 10 seconds. Now the referee will continue counting. If the bell goes, that's in order. Adrian Morgan from Wales, make sure he's okay. He didn't actually take, and boy, did he pleased to hear that bell. Bit of an orchestra, that sounded. Oh, what a puncher, this fella. Quick look at that replay, Jim.
That was a tremendous punch. Earlier in the round, I think the fight would be all over already. Tries to keep his feet. What a tough man he is, but eventually has to go over. A tremendous punch from Ben.
We're out for the second round. As we've always said, although Ben's been fed a fair share of ordinary fighters to knock over, we know the strength of this one, and that is a good performance to have had this fellow on the deck. It shows he can do it even when he starts to get up in class now. So whatever happens, Jim, he's past the testing time okay, isn't he?
Yeah, but we wondered how much power he would have at top level, but he just showed us. That was a tremendous punch, and it's only the quality of the man, Sander, that he's still in there. But we'll see how fit he is, how fresh he is, if he can throw the effects of that punch. But what a tremendous punch it was.
Well, we never have to question Ben's fitness, that's for sure, or his power. Trains really hard and loves this business, and I don't blame him with the quick wins that he's had. And he really is doing a destruction job here. And he's done him again with a left hook there, and the referee was going to go in and stop that. He's pulled him off, and it's all over. He's really had to hold Ben back. No, he hasn't stopped the fight, Jim. I thought he did, didn't you? And he has now. He may as well have done. It's 1:30 into the round. I thought he stopped it after the first. He must be the quickest title winner of the Commonwealth Championship in only 15 months as a professional. The Dark Destroyer does it again.